Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. I am about to have a fantastic day because I have a whole heap of new Lisa Eldridge to try out, including her incredibly exciting and much anticipated new foundation. I am beside myself to get to try all these things and share my initial thoughts with you guys and do some lip swatches and just have some fun with these very special new products. So I picked up 4 shades of her lipsticks. I picked up one existing shade, which is Velvet Fawn, just because I wanted to try that one. So I picked up one of the existing shade and 3 new shades of her gorgeous velvet lipsticks. I got Velvet Intrigue. I also picked up Blush Lightly, and the most exciting for lots of us, I'm sure, Velvet Cinnabar. I also picked up 2 of her new shades of lip liner. I got Velvet Dragon and also Velvet Affair, which is one of the nude lip liner shades to match her very special to me Velvet Affair lipstick. And I got 2 of the new shades of Gloss, Dragon and Cinnabar to also go with the lipstick. So I'm going to be trying on all these lip shades, swatching them and showing you different combinations based on the products that I picked up and how they go together. But perhaps most exciting of all, or certainly most exciting of all for me, is her foundation. So with any order at the moment, you can get a free blister pack of 4 shades and you can choose your pack, which shades you go for. So you can try out her upcoming very soon, any day now. Who knows when it's coming? We don't know. We can only anticipate and wait and be excited. But her Seamless Skin foundation is going to be coming soon. And at the moment you have the opportunity either to get a free blister pack with your order, or you can pay £2 and buy blister packs, as many as you like, so that you can not only try out the foundation itself, but find your shade. So let's talk a minute about these shades. Oh my goodness. I mean, who thought Lisa was not going to show us all the shades and give us this gorgeous, amazing shade range? Not me. I was very confident, and when I saw she was bringing out 40 shades, I knew she was going to smash it, and smash it she did. So there are 40 shades, and not only 40 shades, she's got neutral tones, rosy tones, golden tones, a terracotta tone, which I haven't even seen be an option before, and multiple olive tones for the olive crew. Very exciting, an incredible range. And as I posted on my Instagram, if you follow me over there, not just an incredible range as far as the number of shades and the range of shades and how fair and how deep that it goes and all of those undertones, but the representation among these models are just, it had my heart, honestly. There's mature women, there's different hair colours, and how many times you see a foundation shade range modelled and everybody has the same sort of look, they're the same age, they have the same hair colour, and it's, you know, you just don't see anyone that looks like you for a lot of people. But these images just are, they made my heart soar. All the different ethnicities, different ages, different hair types, different skin tones, of course, and just so many of you were commenting saying, oh my goodness, to see like someone who looks like me, or someone who's my shade in these images, or someone who's more close to my age, or who has my type of hair, or who's wearing a hijab. It was just beautiful to see, and I'm just so impressed and so excited, because it helps me be excited about this foundation when that's like how the promo is, and that's the range that we've got. And not only that, we have the opportunity, without throwing all of our money away, to try a load of shades and actually try the foundation first before purchasing it, because it might not work for everybody. So as far as the foundation claims, it sounds delightful. Glorious, some would say. It's a customizable medium coverage that can be dialed up or down, self-setting. It blends effortlessly to smooth and unify skin with a noticeable soft focus effect. It contains a natural mesh-like ingredient which completely fuses with skin after blending, and the final finish is neither dewy nor flat matte, but something skin-like and in between. It's also fragrance, alcohol, talc and SPF free, and suitable for sensitive skin. So I really just feel like Lisa has put a lot of time, effort and thought into making sure as many people as possible can use and enjoy her foundation, because obviously everybody wants to be able to try this foundation and use it. And a lot of people are sensitive or their skin cannot tolerate those ingredients, and therefore I feel like she's made it as accessible as possible to as many of us as possible. So without further ado, let's get this foundation on my face and see how we like it. Okay, so I've primed my skin with my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, no issues today. So I think it's very hard to tell. I don't want to waste the samples, but looking, so I have this is light medium set 2, and then I have the medium set 1. This is kind of where I felt like my current skin tone would sit among these shades. Looking at the bod, it looks like maybe 17 would be kind of closest. I think 19 would be like my summer shade, possibly, from the description. 17 looks like it would currently be a pretty decent match for my bod. I might mix one of the others in if we don't have enough product, but I think I'm going to start off with 17 and see how much of it we have. I think obviously as far as shade matching, these are definitely enough to do that on yourself, but if I show you kind of swatches of each shade, then I'm not going to have enough to actually give it a try. So I'm going to use my little spatula to get out as much product as possible. Yeah, there's definitely enough in here for a decent shade match, but one of these I don't think is going to do a full face. Maybe it will. That's looking like a decent shade. Maybe it will. I'm going to use a brush so we can get it to go as far as possible, because I know it's helpful if I only use one shade for those of you who are trying to see what the shade actually looks like. So I'm going to use my Sonia G base fusion brush, because if I start mixing shades, I know that's going to be confusing if you guys are trying to work out what shade you are. So as we know, this is unscented, there's no fragrance in here, but it also doesn't have a very strong, you know, like that paint smell. I think sometimes in foundations that are unscented, they then, because they don't have fragrance to kind of mask the natural smell of some of the ingredients, they can sort of smell a bit bad, a bit painty. As we've like an Estee Lauder double wear kind of situation, MAC Studio Fix, I don't really smell anything. There's a very faint, not unpleasant, natural scent that I'm picking up, but it's really not much at all. It feels very hydrating going on, that's the first thing. So this is a bit lighter than my body, as you can see, but it will probably be a good shade for me to pick up, given that we're going into winter now. I just shut my curtain because it was causing some glare and I actually couldn't see what I was doing. Quite a bright day today. Wow. Okay. So that's pretty much like that whole bullet. I do think this is definitely a decent shade if you're around my skin tone right now. I'm currently like in between summer and winter. My body as always is more tanned than my face because I do more skincare on my face, exfoliation, things like that, so it never, and I try to keep my face completely out of the sun. This bit of glitter is driving me mad. But yeah, I think this would be a decent shade for me to pick up right now because we're going into winter, so I don't necessarily want to match my body right now, only for in a month or so that to be lighter. So this 17 I think is a decent match. The undertones pretty spot on for like my winter skin tone, so I think this is good. Like the tiniest amount that I used out of this little tablet, I'm going to get my brush right in there and see. I mean, this to me is exactly spot on to what Lisa said. It's like a very, very natural medium coverage. Like this is making my heart sing. This is exactly where I like my foundations to sit. That medium coverage, skin-like. It doesn't look shiny, but it's also like very far away from being like a flat matte either. It's definitely that satin, just as Lisa said, like in between, somewhere in between like a matte and a dewy finish. Very natural. I didn't feel like I used very much. Well, obviously because I had this little dot in there to use. So, you know, I couldn't use too much. The smoothness is what's really getting me. And I feel like it's really, without using too much foundation, it's covered, like it's completely neutralized like all of my redness. It's looking filtered, very, very smooth. Went on very easily, no real issue with brush strokes or anything like that to report. So this is perfect because this little sample of that one shade is now completely gone, and that's a decent, like I built up the coverage, so you're definitely going to be able to use one shade out of here and get a very good idea of whether it's your shade and actually use the foundation as well. It's more than just swatching. You can absolutely put this on a full face and see how it looks and see your full shade. So as you guys know, I'm in absolute natural daylight here. No artificial lighting, nothing like that. What you're seeing is natural daylight, this foundation. I think like seamless skin is a very good name for this. Forehead is looking nice. Everything's looking very smooth at this point. Not currently soaking into smile lines, which is, let's all say a little prayer that that continues. But yeah, all of my redness is like cancelled out. It's looking very smooth and perfected and filtered. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's finish off my makeup and see how it's settling in. Okay, so I've just finished up my makeup. I used the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. I used the blush from the Dior Birds of a Feather collection and the new highlight from Pat McGrath today. And I've probably been gone like maybe half an hour. Sorry, the sun just came out and everything went very, very warm. It'll be gone in a moment, don't worry, it's October after all. Everything went beautifully on top of this foundation. I didn't set it. Obviously, Lisa says this is a self-setting foundation. I generally don't set my foundations at the best of times, or the worst of times even. Anytime, in fact, because I prefer like skin-like finish. I prefer leaving my foundation like glowy and dewy. And you guys know I'm not a big fan of powder, like all over powdering. So I haven't set it. I didn't have to be careful. I buffed my bronzer in, nothing moved, nothing felt tacky or sticky. It does feel like set. It doesn't feel sticky or like wet in any way. It feels like it's dried down and it's settled in. This foundation is beautiful. Again, we're in natural daylight here. There's no filters, there's no soft boxes giving a really soft, beautiful glow to the skin. This is the most like natural, pretty, perfected, smoothing effect this foundation is giving. It's definitely not dewy. It's exactly as Lisa described it. I'd say it's the satin finish. It's not flat matte. It's very skin-like, the finish, as well as like just the look of the foundation. The smoothing in here, it's like flawless. It looks filtered, but I promise it isn't. I have a tiny bit of retinol peeling. That's what you can see here, if you can see that, but it has not soaked into my smile lines. It's not exaggerating my forehead lines. In fact, it looks very, very like perfected there. Like I feel like it's actually smoothing the lines on my forehead and how they usually look. All my texture is like looking great. I think it's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, like airbrushed. I mean, what did we expect? Okay, so I'm going to move on to some lip swatches now. So let's get started. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do the lipsticks first and then use the liner afterwards so that you can see the lipstick on its own and then you can still see it with liner. I feel like if I go in with liner first and lipstick, some of you are going to want to see just the lipstick by itself. So first up is Velvet Intrigue. Definitely one for me that will need a liner as expected. The reason I picked this one up was because I saw Lisa using this in combination with a fair lip liner that I also picked up, and I thought it looked gorgeous, the combination. So there is a fair liner and Intrigue lipstick. Try and line this now. Ah, yes. With nudes, I would generally always go liner first, then lipstick, but obviously I wanted to show you the lipstick by itself first, and you can see this is just completely changes it and helps it to work for my skin tone. I think this is a gorgeous, like this is going to be like a go-to nude. So we have Velvet Intrigue with a fair liner. Should I take this off? Is this a bit distracting? I feel like that's gorgeous. Very, very wearable, perfect for every day. Lovely. I didn't really know if I would like that one or not, just because it was lighter, but obviously I bought it with the intention of using it with the liner, and it's just so pretty. I don't really own anything like this, so it's gorgeous. Next we have Blush Lightly. Wow, such a pretty shade. I feel like this is one that will work all year round. It's almost got a bit of a springtime feel. But I also think because it has that berry tone, it can be very autumnal as well. Again, very, very wearable. I know that lots of people requested this shade as a easier to wear for lighter skin tones version of Blush, which is an existing shade, and I definitely think it is, but it's also not super light that's going to wash you out either. Definitely don't need a liner with this one if you're around my skin tone. And lastly we have Velvet Cinnabar. Wow, I mean this, if you're looking for autumn, winter, this is it in a lipstick, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's very sophisticated, I feel. Like it kind of is a red, it's a very autumn, sort of warm orangey brown red. It's like almost like a terracotta red, is it how I would describe it? It's gorgeous, very unique shade. The one that I was most excited, and I think lots of people were the most excited about. It's very unique, and despite being such a rich, deeper color on me, it was very easy to apply, and I definitely would feel confident applying this without a liner. But as I picked up the Dragon liner, because I thought this would be a beautiful combination, let's give that a whirl. Ooh, a little dot there for free. There's Dragon, a very wonky line. These liners are so smooth. Oh, this is just gorgeous. I made a bit of a hash of my line. It's a bit tricky to do it afterwards for me, but it definitely gives you the idea. That works gorgeously together. Absolutely beautiful. I'm now thinking I should have done the glosses first, but shall we put Cinnabar over the top of this and then we'll go back and try the glosses on their own. My face is going to be a whole mess after this. Cinnabar Gloss. Oh. I love how this is actually darker than Cinnabar lipstick, because you're actually getting a much more sort of versatile product there, and we'll see how it looks on the lips on its own, but this actually completely gives you like a nighttime version because it's kind of amping it up with the gloss. it's kind of giving you a much more flexible combination than if the gloss was just matching or sheer, which obviously you could use a sheer gloss over the top if you wanted, but this is kind of giving you like a whole extra option. Gorgeous. So I've not tried too hard to wipe, so you can see there's quite a bit of that dragon liner still on there, because I think that will just work beautifully with the Cinnabar Gloss. A very, very pretty, just a bit more of a sheer, obviously shiny version. When it's on its own, it still has that very wearable autumn or fall, depending on what part of the world you're from. Very, very pretty and flattering, but just a little less intimidating because it's not quite as deep and rich if you're a bit nervous of those types of colours. And last up we have Dragon Gloss. You can use these very sheerly or build them up to like a medium opacity. I'm so happy with this one. It's so hard to find a gorgeous glossy like orange that will go with all your orange and peachy lipsticks. If like me, you have dozens of them, and yet works beautifully on its own as well. It's just a really lovely, glossy, healthy, shiny, natural looking, plump, healthy, glossy lip. Very, very pretty, this one. Very wearable by itself, or obviously over the top of your lippies. Very pretty. I am going to try out Fawn. I picked up Fawn. It's not a new shade, but it's new to me, so I thought I would try that one along with a fair liner to see the combination of that. So this is a fair liner. You can see how that glides across the lips. And then we have Fawn lipstick, which I will swatch because why not? We are here after all. And then we have a fair liner with Fawn lipstick. Gorgeous. And now you can see how long wearing these liners are. They do not want to budge. Okay guys, so those are all of the swatches that I have to show and share with you today, and the products and the try on and everything that I have. So let's talk about my thoughts on everything that I tried today. So let's start with this foundation. Now I'm really sorry I don't have it in me to do like a full wear test of the foundation today. As you guys know, I'm really struggling to film a lot or long days or really long videos at the moment, and I just don't have it in me to go away and come back in 8 hours time and to like film and edit this entire day, and that's just a little bit much for me right now, so I'm sorry about that. But I will pin a comment down below to let you know how I got on and how it wore throughout the day. It's probably been on now for like an hour and a half since I first applied this foundation. I've been doing all my swatches and things, and so it's definitely kind of settled into the skin now, and we can see what it's doing. It has ever so slightly settled into my smile lines. Not bad at all, pretty much as good as it gets in my smile lines for most foundations, and it has now dried down and has that sort of satin set looking finish. I think it's beautiful. I absolutely agree that it is very natural. It is a medium coverage. I did slightly build it up today, although all I had to use was one of those blister shades, so I didn't use a lot of foundation, but a little goes a long way with this foundation. You don't need very much, and I'd say I've got like almost a medium to full coverage with it today. It's absolutely covered all redness and discoloration very easily, but my skin still looks natural and skin-like. It doesn't look flat matte. It's not very shiny either. So it is that exact middle ground, that kind of satin finish. It's not quite as glowy as I typically like my foundations, but I can obviously add a little bit of glow with some liquid illuminator or something like that to dial it up. So at the moment, I'm mostly noticing how smooth. I know Lisa said there's a noticeable soft focus effect, and I really agree with that. It looks very filtered, smooth, perfected. It's just, yeah, it's beautiful. It's very, very pretty. The finish, the coverage, and just that smoothing effect. I'm really happy with the shade. The undertones I think are very natural and not really extreme as they sometimes can be, especially with olive undertones. I feel like a lot of the time olive undertones actually run super yellow, and when they're not done beautifully, they just never work for me. But these are actual natural olive undertones that really do work with my skin tone and my natural undertones. Of course, we know Lisa is an expert when it comes to things like colours and undertones and things like that. So who better really to smash this out of the park when it comes to these shades. As far as the lipsticks, I'm really happy with all of the shades that I picked up. I was really happy to see that Velvet Intrigue, as I was hoping, works beautifully with the Rephr pencil, just as it did on Lisa, and I think that will be a gorgeous kind of go-to combination for me. Cinnabar, as I expected, is like the standout, the most unique, special shade from the ones that I picked up, certainly. It's just gorgeous. Something unique and different, perfect for this time of year. I find it really flattering and really easy to wear and wearable for such a deep, rich shade on my skin tone. I think it's very beautiful, and I was very, very happy with that. Blush Lightly, I do enjoy. It's not really my typical type of shade, but I will certainly wear it. It's very easy to wear and it's very pretty, but it's, yeah, it is quite pink for like my personal taste. I don't generally wear a lot of pinks on my lips, but it is still a very pretty wearable shade. The liners, obviously these shades are new to me, but these liners are not new to me, and they are like the best of the best. Incredibly long wearing, very smooth, glide over the lips, just incredible. Like you can't really ask for anything more from a liner. I think the packaging itself as well is gorgeous, very chic. And the glosses, I think these shades are some of my favorite shades ever. I think the Cinnabar Gloss is very unique again and gives you something really different because it is that much richer and deeper than the lipstick. It really transformed that lipstick when I applied it over the top, but Dragon is really something that I've struggled to find in a gloss, and that's that orange, really shiny, luscious, non-sparkly, just absolute shine and glow in a gloss. It's very hard to find that type of shade that you could wear on your own and it be a glossy, peachy, orangey, shiny lip. And this has smashed exactly what I've been looking for all these years. It's gorgeous, just the right amount of opacity, like a medium opacity, just so silky and smooth and hydrating on the lips. I'm a big fan of these glosses, and these are stunning shades. So of course I'm going to keep trying this foundation. I have like 7 more shades to try, which is fabulous. I will let you know in my monthly favorites how I'm getting on, and if I found any shades that work better for me than the shade I tried today, 17. I'll maybe try a couple of the deeper shades to see if they're a bit better for me. Maybe I'll try 18 and 19 maybe over the next couple of days, and I'll keep you posted in my favorites a bit more in depth about the foundation as I get to know it and use it a bit more. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.